Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. You will have seen in my last video that I did a little introduction to my Mazda 3 MPS. Today I'm going to start doing some work on it. I've got a few little bits and pieces. Still haven't got, the chain still hasn't arrived yet, so I haven't managed to get the chain. But I bought, you will have seen, I did a video on my friend Ben Bellis's Mazda 3 MPS. I'll stick a link to that at the top of the screen now. But he broke his first one originally when it failed, so he had loads of bits that I needed. So we've got, you can probably see, is the parcel shelf, and then I've got a pair of rear shocks as well, which I needed because the shocks have failed on the back, and then rear light as well. It does have tint on this rear light, so I need to get some thinners or something to get the tint spray off it, because it's not really my thing. But yeah, so I probably won't do the light today because I don't have any thinners here, but we'll get the rear shocks on and then get the parcel shelf in and things, and yeah, and then if I get time I'll maybe have a go at the light if I can find somewhere open today, because it's bank holiday. So if I can find somewhere open where I can get thinners, I'll maybe give the light a shot as well. So yeah, let's crack on with the rear shocks. So to get the shocks off, I've taken the wheel off, got it jacked up, and then underneath you can see there where the ratchet is, you just got a 17mm headed bolt. So I've sprayed it. It's on a captive nut, so the bolt goes through this way, and then there's a captive nut welded onto the other side. So I've sprayed plenty of WD-40 on this side with where the thread's exposed. So as it pulls it through, it'll pull the WD-40 through and hopefully make it a bit easier to get it off. So yeah, I'm just gonna wind the bolt out now. Obviously it'll be a bit tight because it's exposed to all the water and road dirt and everything, so it won't be the smoothest thing to get out. It will be quite tight, but yeah, definitely spray it with some WD-40 or something similar to just make your life a little bit easier. If you've got an air gun as well, that helps. I've got one, but it's powered like a mains powered one, and I've got no mains down here, so I'm just having to do it by hand. There we go. So that's the bolt out, and then if you just wiggle it out, it'll come out. So that's the bottom of the shock. That is basically this bolt here that goes through the bottom. So that's what that does. So now we need to get these two off the top, which are up under here. So you actually get them, loosen them from the bottom. You can see there. Yeah, so you just need to get a socket on an extension up there. Don't do what I did. I just automatically assumed that you undid them from the top without looking first. So I started taking all this out to realise that there is nothing, they're just captive. So you don't actually need to take all this out. It didn't take me very long, thankfully, because I'd have been really annoyed if it did. But yeah, so it all undoes underneath, which is quite rare. You'll find most cars will bolt up from the inside of the car. So I don't know if it'll pick it up on the camera up there. I've got this one off. I've sprayed plenty of WD-40 on there. This one was a bit tight to get off. So what I did is I wound it out a few turns and then wound it back in. And if you just keep working it in and out, it will eventually come out once you've worked some of the WD-40 into the thread. And like you can see, the bump stops are absolutely knackered on this anyway. It's falling apart. And yeah, so yeah, just take it nice and slow, wind them in and out, because if you snap that thread, it's going to be an absolute bitch, because like I said, they're captive. I don't know how they're held on, if they're just pushed through or if they're spot welded in or what, but you really want to avoid trying to avoid snapping those. So just make sure you use plenty of like WD-40 and just work them in and out until they come off, and just don't rush it. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this one off now. They're 12 mil nuts, so yeah, you need a deep 12 mil socket to get them off. So I'll pull the other one off now, and then we'll pull the shock out and have a look at it. So that's the shock set in. I've just got the tops bolted back in now. You just have to kind of put a bit of pressure on the bottom to compress the shock and then like wriggle it in and drop it in the bottom mount. But yeah, just basically put it up there and then push up against it to compress the shock, and then like kind of let it out inside its mounting at the bottom, so that it's that you can just push it up and mount this bottom bolt. So I just need to get that bottom bolt in now. So we're all bolted in now. The reason I haven't put brand new shocks on, it's normally I would just stick new shocks on something. The reason I haven't is because the springs are actually not looking great. So there's a good chance that I'm probably just going to upgrade the suspension at some point and get like a nice spring and shock set up. And like I said, my friend Ben had these for sale. I paid 30 quid for these, the parcel shelf and the light, so I couldn't really argue. So I just get these on to stop it knocking for now and get it through an MOT, and then I'll maybe look at upgrading to a decent spring and shock setup, or possibly coilovers, but I think I'll probably just stick to spring and shocks, to be honest. And yeah, so I'm just going to get the other side on now, and then we'll get both the wheels back on and get it back on its wheels and take it for a drive, see if it's knocking any less than it was before. So I got both rear shocks on. As you can see, it's sitting a bit more level now. It's probably easier from the other side. Yeah, there's actually a gap between the wheel and the arch now. Before it was like just sat all the way down, so it's riding a little bit more level. So hopefully it'll have a bit more suspension to it. I've got put the parcel shelf in. It's missing the clip for the hanger on this side, so I need to find one of those and get that back in so that I can hang it back up on both sides. Basically I just want to get the car like back to well, not pristine condition, but good condition again. So just fixing all these little bits and pieces, just make it a bit better. I'm missing a bit of plastic out of here, so I need to find that from somewhere. And yeah, but it just it just looks a bit cleaner with the parcel shelf in, so you can't see in the boot when the boot's shut. And yeah, so that's it for my first video on the Mazda. They will get a little bit more exciting as I've fixed all the problems, but at the moment it's just fixing the problems and getting it sorted so that I can drive it every day without having to worry about it. So sorry I'm bright red, it's so hot outside, like ridiculously hot. So that's the first video, like a little bit of progress on the MPS, trying to get it back to its former glory. So yeah, I've just changed both rear shocks. Basically both of them were knocking, so hopefully that's solved the problem. Like I said, I didn't put new rear shocks on. Like, if you're going to change shocks, you probably should just put new ones on, but because I'm probably going to, judging by the state of the rest of the suspension, I'm probably going to just upgrade the suspension in a couple of months after I've got all the MOT and everything out of the way. So I thought I'll just make use. I got hold of some cheap rear shocks, so I thought I may as well use them. But yeah, if you're going to change your rear shocks, probably just stick new ones on. It's save the hassle of having to change them later down the line. But this will fix it for now and get me through an MOT. So that's that sorted. Parcel shelf's back in, so that hopefully that'll just stop a little bit of the noise coming from the back as well, and just it makes it look a little bit tidier. There's all those little plastic panels and stuff that are missing out the boot that I need to get hold of, and then yeah, and then the hanger for the parcel shelf. And then next time I'll probably get some thinners, clear the tint off that new rear light and fit the rear light, and then try and track down where the suspension knock is coming from the front. I've got a feeling it's probably the front drop links, but I'm not totally sure. It might be the shocks on the front as well, but I'm hoping it's not. I think it sounds more like a drop link, so hopefully it'll be a drop link. So yeah, that'll be the next video, and that's it for now. I'm gonna go drive it and see what it's like so that I can put the windows down and then I'm not boiling to death. So yeah, catch you in the next video. If you want to see some more progress on the Mazda 3, then drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.